All right, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're unboxing Red Harvest. But before we get started, speaking of Red Harvest or Bountiful Harvest, I'd like to just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there that celebrates. Obviously have a worldwide audience. So if you are not partaking today, don't worry about it. If you are partaking, hopefully you are enjoying a fantastic feast and some time with your family or friends. But enough of that. Let's jump into this bad boy. I am super excited, as obviously we have all seen what's inside, but I haven't actually seen what's inside. Now, before I open this box here, though, I do want to note a couple of observations I have made here. So I have mentioned this previously with the previous Warcry set, the Catacomb set. Games Workshop had basically downgraded to like this cheap style box. Now you're probably thinking, oh, who cares? It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter to me. It does matter though, because they load these things up with miniatures and raise the prices on them, and then you open it up and stuff's broken because they cheaped out on the box. I don't know how much money they save, but I've already noticed just looking at my box that it's banged up. Like, I don't know how well you can like make it out in the picture, but or in the video, but this is like all jacked up. This corner's all jacked up too. And again, I mean, this is still sealed in plastic, so I mean, we're gonna obviously open it together. But the fact that they continue to like raise the prices on these things and like cheap out on the box just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you're gonna load these things up, if you're gonna raise the prices, I'm totally okay with it. That's fine. That's your decision. But when you start compromising either the contents or even the packaging to where stuff arrives damaged, that's when we have a problem. So hopefully we don't run into that problem today. But we're about to find out in a minute here. Now, a lot of other people have recently observed as well that some of the newer containers or boxes haven't been coming with the plastic wrap. I could go either way on that. As long as they realize that when you sell something without plastic wrap, it could be opened and you can't necessarily tell. But some boxes are coming, in like more of the cheap cardboard like this. Some boxes are coming without the plastic wrap. And like, honestly, I feel like neither one of them is the type of compromise you want to make, especially if you're out here selling like the top quality or top price product on the market. So I could care that the actual box is damaged. I have plenty of other boxes I can use. But as long as the models aren't missing or damaged or anything, without plastic on them or with the cheap box, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But, you're just opening yourself up for liabilities or, just one more reason for something to go wrong, in my opinion. Probably would not normally be as difficult to open up the box if it wasn't all like jacked up on the side there. But so we got it open. Let's take a look at what comes inside. Obviously already seen a couple of different like unboxing and stuff, but it seems like a lot of times they cut corners and don't show like the actual sprues or the detail of the sprues. So let's really take a look. I want to also look into the book here. As we know, this one is like a combination book. It's the combination between Red Harvest and like the actual like core rule book. So let me just kind of move this to the side. All right, so here is our first sprue. So this is the spider guys. Yeah, definitely the spider guys. Um, Pretty nice looking overall. I mean, we've all seen the sculpts. They look awesome, obviously. Size wise, they look about what I was expecting. Definitely really liking the details and everything. Just so we can kind of look over the details here up close. Obviously, these models are phenomenal. We've got like the big spider kind of coming out of the ground. Looks like the old Warhammer Quest spider, like almost perfectly. That's pretty awesome. And then we've got like two more little spider swarms. And then each one has like a tiny little spider that kind of goes on top of that rock right there. Keep in mind, everything is inverted. It's like flipped screen. I mean, the detail on these models is awesome. The weapons look pretty sick too. There's like everything from like crazy like sickle looking weapons to like cool daggers, spears, everything. Very, very cool. And then we see like a bunch of accessory spears. So obviously the easy to build style. A bunch of different like weapon options for each guy, it looks like, though, or at least a few different for each guy. So right in line with all the other Warcry stuff we've seen so far. But really liking these models. They are awesome. I think these are gonna make like sweet cultists for like Dungeons and Dragons, for like basically like a spider crypt or tomb or cave or something like that. Um, Very cool. Very, very cool. Loving these. So next we have our barricade sprue. This was in the original Warcry, and then also in Catacombs. So if you had any Warcry sets before, you should be pretty familiar with this one. But it has a bunch of like pretty cool chaos barricades, some like skeletons you can kind of mount up on them. This one comes with 2 different walkways as well, like little like wood like bridges to go between your stuff. So when it's all said and done, you have like 2 of these go together to form like a 90-degree barricade. We have 2 of the bridges, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ones. So you basically end up with like 6 little like barricades and 2 bridges from the set. This is a nice sprue, lots of good stuff, and definitely has like that awesome chaotic feel, with like the chaos symbols, the spikes, and the excessive amounts of skeletons and chains and skulls, of course. So next we have the first of our new sprues. So this one is for like the big like mining deal. It's basically a bunch of chains and gears, and then there's like a couple skeletons mounted at the bottom, that would be like the guys who are controlling this like ore mine basically. Um, awesome detail, loving the chains and the gears and all like the skeletons and everything. Then we've got like all the little buckets and everything. Like the like trim, the metal trim on all like the wood and everything for this set. So this one is the first of our new sprues, and this is a great sprue right here. Definitely very cool. And here we have our next sprue. So this one is for, I believe this is the other half of that one. Maybe not. This might be a separate sprue. I should have looked a little more carefully at the details before checking this out. This may be a separate thing. It's like a wheel. The other one is for like the mining. We'll have to look a little more into it, I guess, once I get into the books and the pictures and everything. But again, extraordinary detail. I love the terrain in this set. It's awesome. I mean, the whole set looks great. The models, all of it. All right, so now we're going to start getting into our duplicates. So we have 2 of these sprues. So I'm just going to set one off to the side. And this one is one of our large platform sprues. So obviously it has a large platform. What I really love about this set too is it's a combination of like the Azurite style ruins, or like the ruins from the regular set, with all this like chaotic like wooden structures and ladders and all this stuff like built on top of it or like integrated. So that is awesome. It definitely like combines the 2 sets. So you could have like the traditional stuff with this stuff, and it will still look like it all belongs together. And again, we have like one large platform, and then one really big platform. So a large one and an extra large one, ladder, a couple like braces for each, I believe, some cross members. Looks really good. And same deal for these next 2 sprues. Again, you have 2 of the same sprue, so we just kind of set one off to the side. And again, this is like your integrated terrain from like the Warcry or Age of Sigmar stuff, with like the wooden stuff built onto it. So it has like that definite like chaos feel as it blends the 2 sets together. And then this is like all the I don't know what you would call them, like kind of like sluices or whatever, where after they pull all the um, material out of the ground, basically like slides down these to wherever it needs to go. And we can see like the deposit kind of like buildups in it. There's like some clear battle damage to some of these pieces too. And again, just the combination, the way that the wood and the metal come together in this, and then like the old terrain, like kind of stone, is all blended together is absolutely phenomenal. I got to give this set terrain a 10 out of 10 for the overall like quality and look and everything. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal, honestly. And then it looks like, basically two of these big pieces will have some of these on top of them. There's some, looks like all of them are angled, but the way you could like line them up, if you put like these two up against each other, it will still go straight. It just has like a little bend inside of it, basically. There's some pieces that are actually straight on the ends. This is like the end piece where it kind of like comes down out of there. So it looks like you can do some basically like anywhere from 45-degree angles, 90-degree angles, and then just like straight pieces as well. And it looks like there's just a little bit of like scatter terrain in here. But overall, once again, you have these pieces right here that give it like the angle kind of slope down. And then you have two of those will go on top of these as well. So we'll see how it all looks together and everything, but looks great here. All right, and then here we have our second warband. So this is our, I don't even know what to call them, like barbarian horde guys. I'll have to look at the names and everything, but these guys remind me of, they redid like the pit fighters. These guys remind me of like the original barbarians from like Warhammer Quest, and then there's like a like woman shaman type deal as well. Again, these models look absolutely phenomenal. A mix of weapons, everything from like spears, axes, swords. Looks like quite a bit of versatility with this set. We've got like these cool Wolverine looking claws. And just kind of flipping it over. Yeah, I mean, the detail on this is great. There's a couple shields in there. Quite a bit of selection. And again, these models will be fantastic for D&D, either for heroes or like, a barbarian horde that you got to battle or whatever. Very, very cool. Even got like some kind of like crazy mace here with some bird skulls at the end. Yeah, what a nice set. The quality of these minis is absolutely top notch. Like poster obviously did not survive, but it looks like it kept the model safe at least. And on the back side of the board, we have the token sheet and clear ruler built in there as well. Two bags of various bases and a couple loose ones. So, yep, that's all our bases. And here is the assembly guide. Keep in mind, obviously, everything is going to be in reverse. Just one thing of note is the assembly guide and the book are not in any kind of saran wrap or anything. Doesn't appear to have any damage or anything, but that is kind of surprising that they're not like wrapped or anything. Like the typical previous sets, these would be like wrapped together with plastic. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's just them like cutting corners or they think that's better somehow. So we'll just fast forward here. This is what I'm really looking at is the terrain and how it's assembled. So it looks like the first three pieces, there'll be two each of them, which makes sense because we have, two of the same sprue, and each one is basically, what do they call them? Just terrain. Okay, so we have like three of the sloping pieces. This one obviously has the stuff kind of falling out the end and appears to be the shortest. Looks like the other two are the same height. Can't quite tell exactly. And for our next couple pieces here, so we have basically, okay, I see how it goes. This is our next piece. This one is like the end type piece. You can see they can like close off the thing. That is pretty cool. There's like chains basically where they can cut off the flow of like ore coming out of there. And then we have like the actual ruined wall with like the piece propped up against it. So one side is supported by the ruins and then the other side has a couple of legs holding it. And then again, we have another one of these. This one is much taller, but again has that same sort of rig so that they can stop the flow of the ore. And then this one again is on the side of one of those ruined pieces of like the regular terrain. So Very cool. Looks absolutely phenomenal. And you get two of everything from here. And then for our next pieces, this one is going to assemble basically into our platform setup right here. So that has like the two big pieces, that piece. Okay, so there's quite a bit of assembly to these. This is our two large platforms. Okay, I see how it is. So this is just, obviously we have two of these that are exactly the same, but this is like the very large platform with like a step platform up, like a small piece. I like that. That's very cool. Very cool. And then just kind of showing how the ladder can go on there. So it can be either a double ladder that goes all the way up, or two single ladders, one onto the first level and then one onto the second level. So again, very cool. I like the options. Oh, I see. Okay. And then these are actually two more of like the bridges or like walkways, planks, whatever you want to call them. So we have the two from the barricade set with like the spikes and everything, and then we have two of these as well. So that is very cool. And then there's the two large structures. So, oh man, it just keeps on going. And then this is the Varanite siphon. So this is going to start off with like the platform and then like the chain rigging and everything. Okay, great. And then this is basically like oil mine kind of like style. It has like the big skull with the chain hanging down from it, and then similar to like an oil rig basically. Yeah, that is very cool. Man, this set is so nice. And then here we can see like the wheel structure and everything hooks onto here, and then obviously this is like the siphon, like metal piping that would like go down into the earth, and then the chain goes into that. So as this thing like goes up and down, basically like creates pressure. There's like a little wheel on there. This is absolutely phenomenal. This terrain setup is just absolutely sick. And there she is, all completed. Yeah, I mean, this is top notch. This is gonna go great for Dungeons and Dragons, for Warcry, for Sigmar. This is gonna be great for like underground terrain that you would find like in a cave or like catacombs, or just right on the surface or whatever. What setting can't have like a mining operation? And then this has got like a chaos, like kind of like twist to it. So absolutely phenomenal. The detail on this is just outstanding. Um, I mean, top notch. And then this is our last piece right here. This is the pit dredger. So this is what pulls up like the actual ore. And again, you can see like the wheel with like the dead skeletons, like the slaves that were normally making this turn. Obviously got left behind whenever this thing stopped working. And as we continue with assembly, there's like a larger platform up above it. We can see like the actual rigging and everything. You can see the details. And now here we're getting close to like the completion. Obviously, these would all be filled up with the material and then brought to the top. And then as they flip over, they'll dump it down into like our sluices or whatever you want to call them. Should have looked what the names were. Yeah, I mean, the detail on this is phenomenal. The chains, the spikes, the gears. This is just top notch. And then here we are basically with the completion. Last you have like the like sluice box. I might just be making that word up. But basically where it like dumps down in there, filters it in, and then it would pour it down into like all our little pieces. Very, very nice setup. And there it is, all completed. Looks like you have two different height variants you could do on this one. So you can have it low here, and it pours, almost at ground level. And then this one, obviously, up top, and this would be pouring down into like all the sluice boxes. I would imagine that's the way to go. It's cool that there's variants. I'm not sure why, to tell you the truth, but as I build it, I'm sure I will be. And then, of course, our traditional terrain, the spikes and barricades. So here we have the 90-degree barricade with like the skeletons, spikes, chaos symbols. And then the rest of the barricades have minimal assembly, as you just basically put like the remainder of the skeletons and a couple of heads on there. And then here we have like our two little bridges. And that is it. And there's probably not going to be much that you'll be able to make out from the actual book here as I look through it, just because everything's going to be like flipped for you guys. But I just want to see how the rules are set up. All right, so there's quite a bit of like missions and like territory settings and whatnot inside there. And then once we get to page 76, there's also a bunch of background on the gangs and everything. Once we get to 76, we see there's a core rules section. So basically explaining what the tokens are, how to read the fighter and ability cards, the general rules, setting up the battle round, and then talks about move actions, universal abilities. Specifically shows like how everything interacts, jumping, moving on top of like the terrain, attack actions, disengage, the actual terrain itself. And then talks about chaotic beasts and thralls. So from 76 to 93 is the actual rules. So that's not bad. It's basically about, what, 76 to 93? So it's about like 17 pages of rules, give or take some pictures. And then there's some ruin marks, a little bit about the narrative play and campaigns, roster breakdown, and then talks about like the aftermath for, you know, obviously your guys are like leveling up or you're gaining territories or glory points. And then you get like artifacts. Yeah, and that's it. A couple of extra little sheets on the back here. So again, you can see how it was packaged. Obviously, this book's in kind of rough shape. I mean, it's not like a big deal, but definitely a little bit of damage, probably from like flying around in the box there, shaking up. So a bunch of bags for like storage of, you know, all your cards and whatnot. These are the new dice. So obviously with these dice, they are like the squared corners. I actually much prefer this style of dice. They are also like larger dice, so they're the same size as the old Warcry dice, but instead of the rounded corners, they have the squared off like pointy corners. I like that. I actually prefer this style of dice. They're less likely to get cocked. They always like settle flat and everything. Roll a little better. You know, you got to give them a little vigor, and you know, they stop nice and good. No, less cocked dice I think is better overall. No arguments, no worrying about re-rolling, etc. Definitely a big fan of these dice. Still have the brown, red, and black, and still looks like you're getting 6 of each. So it is an 18 dice set still. And then we have the actual card pack itself. So there is a piece of cardboard in here to protect them, so that's cool. We have the Dark Oath Savages and the Tarantulas Brood. Some cool pictures on the back of some of the guys with like their names and everything. So I love both these gangs. I think they both look absolutely phenomenal. And then the first of our card packs, obviously going to have, so that's a couple of the spare cards for like duplicate models. So you're going to have like 1, 2, and 3 of a style of guy on there. And then we've got each of the actual guys. First, the Dark Oath Savages. So it has 1 for each of the builds for your main guy. And then we have like the like Hag Summoner Queen Lady. We have the Claw Boy. Don't mind that I don't actually know their names. We have a Berserker with the axe. The same model with the spear. And then we have this is like the Warhammer Quest style, old school like Barbarian. And then the same model with like the bird mace. It's got like 2 bird skulls for the mace there. And then we've got a bro with sword and shield. A lady bro with a throwing axe and spear. Then we've got a bro with double axes. And one more bro here. Again, that is same model, but with some alternate weapons. And then for the spider cult, we have our main bro, the 4-armed spider guy. Awesome, flying through the air. It looks a little delicate. We'll have to see how it is when I actually build him. And then we've got one with like a spider kind of net and spear. This is like sort of like a claw whip thing. Maybe some poison going on there. And I don't know what weapon that is. some kind of crazy, like, I guess an axe, a hook axe. Well, I guess, I don't know if anybody actually cares about the stats. They're going to be in reverse, so you have to figure them out. But this guy is 180, 18 wounds, 6 move. So they appear to be pretty quick. 2-4 damage, 6 attacks. So that is pretty solid. And then 105, 12 wounds, 5 move, 3 toughness. Or is that 3 strength? 3 strength? Yeah, no, tough. That's the toughness. So yeah, the first guy's a little stronger, a little faster. Um, and then this got some range, just the 2 range on this. So I guess this guy only has 1 weapon. I guess it's just 1. He has like the net. I don't know if there's special rules for that or something. And then this guy has like the flail and the axe. 3 range on the flail, 1 on the axe. Again, 5 move, 3 tough, 3 attacks. Pretty good. 95 points. That's pretty good. These spider swarms are only 35 points, so that's pretty awesome. Nice and cheap. I think that's pretty much the cheapest I've seen anything so far. The little like pot grot for the cruel boys, and I think that's the cheapest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 35 is the cheapest I've seen. 6 move, 8 hit points. Definitely very weak, 1 toughness. But quick to claim some objectives. 8 attacks, but only strength 1 and 1-2 damage. So could get lucky. But the cheapness and just the ability to like move quickly to an objective or like tie a guy up is pretty awesome. And then we've got like a basic trooper with the like scythe type weapon, and then he's got like a claw hand. So the scythe's got range 2, 5 move, 3 tough, 8 hit points for 80. Not bad. 2 attacks with either. So just got a little range on this guy. 5, 3, 8, 1. So just 4 attacks with like the dual, like I guess swords on this guy. 65 points. 5, 3, 8, 70 points. Again, these like size or whatever are like a little stronger. Should take a quick look back at the other ones, because I am curious now. I didn't actually pay attention. So it's 170 for the leader, 4 move, 4 tough, 20 wounds, and then 5 attacks, 4 strength, 2-5 for the damage, and then looks like nothing. Okay, 4 attacks if you give him the axe, but strength 6. Okay, and then 2-5 still, same points. And then we've got 3, 3, 12 for the caster for 115. She's got 3, 7 range. That's pretty standard for magic. 3, 6 damage with 2 attacks, strength 3. She's got a little melee as well for 115. And then for 120, we've got the double claw bro. And he has 4, 4, 12 and 1, 4, 4, 1, 5. So 4 attacks at strength 4. And then 115 with the axe. So still strength 4 with the axe on this one for 115. So 4, 4, 12, 2 attacks at strength 4, and then 3, 5 damage. And then if you go with the spear is 5 less points, so 110, 4, 4, 12 with range 2, 2 attacks, 4, 2, 5. So a little less damage for a little more range. Interesting. So she does not get the strength bonus for the axe. And then our standard barbarian, 110, 4, 4, 12, 3 attacks, strength 4, 2, 4. Pretty standard. And then with the male, or a maul, flail, whatever, strength 5, only 2 attacks at 2, 4, but range 3. So he gives up an attack for a little strength and a little range. And then Last guy here is 75 for 1, 2. So 4, 4, 10, 2 attacks with a sword and shield. So does he get an extra toughness from that? I don't. Huh. Okay, yeah. So these are like kind of like the juvie guys. So this one is a little weaker. She's only strength 3. So this guy is like the weaker guy, but the shield gives him tough 4. This is like the just regular, like kind of weaker one. 65 points. And then you have the spear and the axe. So 2 attacks with the spear at range, 3 attacks with the axe. But 4 strength on the spear, 3 on the axe. And then finally, double axe, 75 points, 4 move, 3 tough, 10 wounds, 1, 4, 4, 1, 3. So 4 attacks at strength 4, not bad. Again, 2 attacks at strength 4. Um, So you get a little more damage, but half as many attacks. And it's 5 points cheaper. So I don't know. That's a trade-off right there. And then we have our terrain cards. I am glad they brought these back. I really like the terrain cards. I'm not sure why they got rid of them to begin with. But it basically just tells you like what setup to use. So you can like draw a terrain card and then randomly set them up based on like what the cards say. I like the idea of the cards like integrated with the game for like the guys and then also for the setups. It's cool to just be able to shuffle these up and then just real quickly like set up the board how it's supposed to be. They look pretty awesome too. Lots of different variants. I mean, this looks great. I cannot wait to play this set. And then here are our mission cards. Yeah, so I don't know what made them bring the cards back for the terrain and also like the missions, but I'm very glad they did. I really like the terrain like setups here. So this is like basically your deployment map, and then that is your like terrain. So you set up the terrain, and then this tells you how you're gonna like set up your guys. So you have like reinforcements coming in round 2. It's nice and easy because you just draw the cards and you're ready to go. Again, where you have your reinforcements coming, where you have your hammer coming. Um, yeah, this is great. These are great. Confrontation, deadly encounter, into the fray, spearhead, swift attack, overrun, skirmish, eye for an eye, weapon drawn, surge, flank attack, unleashed. Yeah, these are great. And then the twist cards as well. So demonic presence, mutative aura, late arrivals, arachnid nest, warning cry, creature in the dark, descending, ash storm, awakened machines, winds of excess, rising hatred, at my command, tactical guile, reaper, bring to ruin, and then victory, search for Varanite, Varanite horde, stake a claim, ransack, might makes right, till the bitter end, vital supplies, send a message, take and hold, and delivery. So we did it. That's our Warcry Red Harvest detailed unboxing. Sorry you won't be able to like read stuff because I do have the camera like inverted for convenience on the arm there. But overall, I would have to say this is a great set. Um, the price point is up to you whether or not you think it's a good deal. I think if you compare it to Catacombs for the same price, there's more value in this. They combined the rules into just one book. So you don't get the original rules for all the other gangs. You just get the rules for these two gangs, some extra background, some extra like lore and stuff, and then condensed rules. But it looked like they're all there. So as long as you're only playing with these two gangs, you're fine. If you want to play the other gangs, you will have to obviously get like the fighter cards, or obviously if you want like the lore and background and everything, get the regular rulebook. But this is everything you need to play. Comes with your measuring device, comes with your dice, all your cards, tokens. The terrain is exponentially better than what came in the previous set. I did like that they had the doors and everything in Catacombs. I did like the board and everything, but this terrain is exponentially better. This terrain is absolutely phenomenal. It's all, well, I take it back. With the exception of the one barricade spike set, it's all original. So great setup. You're getting 6 sprues of terrain. No, 7 sprues of terrain. So 6 new sprues of terrain. 2 of the like unique big ones, and then 2 repeats of the other ones. And then you have your 2 gangs, all your cards. I like the dice better in this set. So overall, the actual contents of the box, I give it 10 out of 10. Phenomenal. If you split this with a friend, let's say, American, $210. So assuming one of you like kept the dice, and or maybe just split it down the middle, $105 a piece. Maybe cheaper if you get a local discount at your store. Maybe you could get it as low as, 210 minus 15% off roughly. So, about $30 off the top. So you're looking at less than $100 for 2 people to play this. So I think overall, I would have to give it price for what you get. I would give it an 8 out of 10. The terrain is top notch. The gangs are top notch. They brought back all the things that I felt like were missing from the previous sets. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If it was a little cheaper, it would get a 9. If it was a bunch cheaper, it would get a 10. But the actual quality of what you get and the contents are definitely a 10. The value is slightly lacking. But overall, you get what you pay for with a lot of these games. There are a lot of other games where you get more models or, more Griblies inside. But the quality is just not as good. So these are amazing models, amazing terrain, top-notch terrain. I've never seen anything like this. This is the best terrain probably Games Workshop has released. And I like that they got the square corner dice. I like that they brought back the cards. Basically everything that was missing from the last expansion, they corrected. So everything that Catacombs was lacking is in this set. It's better terrain. The dice are better. The cards are back. So again, I give this set a straight up like 8 out of 10. It's 100% worth the money in my opinion. Great set. Definitely liking it. So I will probably build some of this up, get to working on it, and hopefully be playing some battle reports here. If you'd like to see some battle reports, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, let me know as well. I'm curious to hear your opinion if you have the set, if you're thinking about getting the set, if you have complaints about the set, it's too expensive, you don't like the gangs, whatever, let me know as well. The only thing I noticed was the book was a little bit damaged and was not like saran wrapped. The box was saran wrapped, but was a little bit damaged and definitely like the cheaper quality. But other than that, I would say that they spared no expense, with the exception of the 2 things they spared expense on. But overall, nothing was really damaged. There was maybe like one little like javelin that was bent. But overall, happy that it arrived safely, especially considering the box was a little banged up. So there you have it, guys. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. Make sure you like and subscribe for unboxing, all kind of videos, how-to reviews, reactions, everything from building, painting, magnetizing, lighting, any kind of tutorial you can imagine for anything from Warcry, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000, and of course some Kill Team as well. Basically anything Games Workshop all the time. Try to be honest with you guys, so if I don't like something, I tell you about it. If I do, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I think that's what you can always count on from the channel. So make sure you like and subscribe, share with your friends. Appreciate you guys, and I'm out of here. Warhammer Man Studios. I am Warhammer Man.